This is the new Mercedes E-Class, and it's been overhauled to take on the BMW 5 Series and Audi A6 and... oh no, hold on. Wait, what's that? No, zoom in a bit, please. Oh, it's a C-Class. Am I going nuts? We live in quite a strange time now, don't we? I mean, a lot of new generation cars are just getting bigger, and manufacturers are really enjoying doing the whole same kind of face for their range. Do you know what I mean? So you can see across their range that they're all related. I mean, the upside of that means that if you're not completely savvy, you could look at a car like this, the Mercedes C-Class, and assume it's the bigger E-Class. But here's the thing, the two may look very similar, but the E-Class is still a chunk longer and a bit wider than its little brother. The previous E-Class is still a larger car too. The question is though, is the C-Class now big enough that you don't really need the E? For some people it will be. Wheelbase, for example, 25mm longer this is. So, I said that like Yoda, longer this is. So back here, I mean, passengers are going to be quite happy. I mean, I'm 5'6", the legroom's pretty decent, that's set up for my driving position. And headroom, I mean, it's pretty great. It's quite snazzy back here as well, isn't it? Got little sort of metal moments, you've got the leather seats. It's quite posh. I feel quite posh. You're definitely not hard done by. You are a bit in the boot. Let me show you. So if you want a bigger boot, naturally you're going to go for the E-Class anyway, or you can go for a BMW 3 Series because that's got 480 litres. But in here, you've got 455 litres of boot space. But as ever, the real party is in the front of the new C-Class, and it's a bit of a screen fest. Right, here's what I thought I'd do. Be a bit rebellious and basically show you the interior and the infotainment while we're driving, to kind of show you how easy or not so easy it is to use, because everything in here is touch sensitive. Everything. I mean, there's buttons down here, but they're also touch sensitive, but also kind of buttons, but weird buttons, which I'll come to in a second. So basically you've got two screens. You've got this big giant 11.9-inch screen for the infotainment, and then you've got a 12.3-inch screen here for your digital dials. I mean, it runs the MBUX system, or as I like to call it, the MBUX system, which is super sleek. Like, it's so crisp. The graphics are just blooming gorgeous. And I just wanted to point out, it is quite easy to get lost in menus, but this is where the home button is your friend. Home button, lovely, and then you can just kind of find everything again. Climate controls are all in the screen. Right. It doesn't bother me as much as it should, because they're permanently there at the bottom and it's quite nice and big, so you can kind of just tap as you go. Whereas some other cars, the touch sensitive stuff really irritates me. But also the fact that you can lean your arm on here and press is fine. This button along here, I call it a button because it is a button. Because if you're turning up volume or muting, the whole thing presses down at once, which I find quite strange. But also it's touch sensitive and it's like slidey. So when you go through like the car menus and options, I know it's just buttons. That's weird because the whole thing presses at the same time. I find that quite strange. Let's put it back in comfort mode. There we go. But I mean, overall, in here, it's nice. It's a very nice, stylish, sleek setup. Feels expensive. Looks lovely. I mean, again, touch sensitive all on the steering wheel, which does sometimes have a nice little click to it, which you kind of get used to after a while. The volume doesn't though. No, it doesn't, does it? But that has, there you go, that has a button. It takes a bit of getting used to, that's what it does. Every car has heated seats as standard. This is me looking for the heated seat button. Okay, hold on a minute. Is there no heated seats in this? Am I being an idiot? Am I being an idiot? Because I can't find the heated seats button, and I thought it had heated seats. It does, and I can't find the heated seats button.
To not just...
It has got them, Nick.
It doesn't.
We need to look
There's
harder.
your wing mirrors. I am look. You look then.
What about if you actually press the seat?
Seat. But why is there... Maybe it doesn't come... Maybe this doesn't come with heated seats.
It's not on the middle bottom, no?
No. What's this car button do? Oh! Oh, no.
Imagine if they just turned everything on its head and it was like up here somewhere.
It's not.
Nick, to be
So-
fair, it is 21 degrees.
Yeah, it's quite warm today.
You're probably fine.
I'm fine for now. But what if I get backache? Okay, so what we have learnt, Rich just phoned up Mercedes, and basically every C-Class should have heated seats, but for some reason this press car doesn't. So yours will, and it will have cruise control and wireless charging and reversing cameras. There we go. Drama.
Of course, a few more physical controls would be nice, but the C-Class really does have a stellar cabin. I'm just not sure about those 3 air vents on the dash, because they kind of remind me of those aliens from Toy Story. The claw. Anyway, what's it like to drive?
Well, it's pretty blooming good. I mean, this car rides on a heavily updated platform of the old car. And it's just lovely and smooth. It's comfortable is what this car is. I mean, if you want to have a fun car, then you go for a BMW 3 Series or an Alfa Giulia or something. But no, this car, I mean, it's not mega engaging or communicative, but that's not the point of this. You buy this car to waft, and it wafts better than any other rival. I mean, what you do is you ignore your sport mode and all that sort of stuff, you whack it in comfort and you float, and you feel all nice while you're doing it. On the motorway, mwah, it is so nice, so nice. 9-speed gearbox is super smooth as well. It's very nice and relaxing, this. I mean, it's relaxing, but also, I mean, it is quite nippy.
It's the C300E plug-in hybrid, and while every C-Class gets mild hybrid tech, this one gets a healthy punch of electric assistance for a 0 to 62 time of about 6 seconds. Pretty nippy, but that's not the best thing about it.
Let's talk about plug-in hybrids. We're about due this chat, aren't we? This plug-in hybrid chat. We're about due. It's a mixed bag. Plug-in hybrids don't work for everyone. Look, if you're a company car driver and you can use that benefit in kind rating, good for you. If you do short journeys, good for you. If you can plug in at home or plug in at work, amazing. You are onto a winner. If you can't plug in at home and you're having to use the public charging network, that's when things start to become a little bit frustrating. I can't charge at home, so I use the public network, and let's be honest, it's not there yet. It's getting there. It's not there yet, is it? More often than not, I get very frustrated with it. And then if you're doing a long journey, you're either having to stop and charge, or you're going to have to just deal with the fact that you're driving around a very, very heavy car because you're lugging around that giant battery, and then it becomes less efficient. But this is a big juicy but when it comes to this car. This C300E has a 24.5 kilowatt hour battery, which means, in theory, this will do 70 miles of pure electric range, or like in the real world, 60 miles, let's say. 60 miles of pure electric. How great is that? 60 miles of pure electric. This is probably the least compromised PHEV that we've ever driven. I'm very impressed with that. So when it's in electric mode, it's got 128 brake horsepower, it's got 440 Newton meters of torque, which is plenty, isn't it? And then when the petrol kicks in, it builds that horsepower up to 309 brake horsepower. Again, it's plenty nippy enough. But it's that 60 miles. Yeah, this is where Mercedes wins, I think, with plug-in hybrids. That's a really decent range. Well done, Mercedes. Well done. Very nice. Very nice.
The C300E takes 2 hours to charge, which is a bit annoying, but the rewards are well worth it. It's just a shame that squidgy brake pedal doesn't feel very intuitive. The C-Class is still a pretty compelling machine though, and we wouldn't blame you one bit for choosing it over a 3 Series. And if you don't need the extra space, you won't feel shortchanged choosing one over an E-Class. Trust us.